we need to be clear about a couple of issues at the least. One, in this case, very clearly, Osama bin Laden had a more of a symbolic value. He was most likely not managing, controlling, and commanding the militant groups or his Al Qaeda or any of the affiliates group. However, this was more of a symbolic thing. The second thing, which is important also, is that yes, we should be happy about it. I think it was important and very critical that Osama bin Laden is brought to justice. But at the same time, a lot of damage has been done. And there are so many militant groups, their operators, their activists, terrorists, who got inspired by the idea. And they have to be tackled still. And they are in a minority, they are few in numbers, but they are around the world, and especially in Pakistan, Afghanistan region. So intelligence cooperation, more effective counter-terrorism, a broader way to look at these issues remain very important and remain very critical for United States and for the globe at large. I think President Obama made great use of the 4 or 5 minutes he had. He was very sober, very clear, very categorical. I think some of his comments were very apt, especially making the case, for instance, that Osama bin Laden was not a Muslim leader per se, and that he was not representing Muslims in any case, and he was in fact a mass murderer of Muslims. I think that was, though, a message which is largely understood, but it needs to be at times emphasized, and he picked the right time to do that. He also was a bit diplomatic about Pakistan's involvement and cooperation here, so he used a couple of words which were generally vague, but he clearly wants Pakistan-US relations to continue. He needs more collaboration and cooperation from Pakistan, and I think he said it nicely. So overall, I think his 4 or 5 minutes, this was a historic moment. I mean, 10 years from now, some of the speeches or comments of President Obama, which will be remembered, I think this will be a part of it, because this, in terms of history also, this is a very important moment. I think it will create some tension in the immediate future. There might be some sympathizers of Osama bin Laden who, being demoralized, maybe will try to run, maybe will try to react or voice their reaction or response to it. So I hope I'm wrong in this analysis, but I think there might be some upsurge, some rise in terrorist activity around the world from Osama's sympathizers, friends, colleagues, collaborators. But I think that will be a brief period. I'm more concerned about this idea of terrorism and the way in the last 10-15 years around the globe, in so many different ways, violence, extremism, militancy, across various groups, across various traditions, whether religious, ethnic, or political, or nationalistic, that the idea of terrorism is becoming more in vogue. And that is something to be really concerned about. I think for Pakistan, this is a very embarrassing moment. I have no reluctance to say that. If Osama bin Laden, with his 2 wives reportedly and 4 sons, was living there, and the Pakistani intelligence military were completely unaware of it, this is really a terrible news. It is a huge failure. If, on the other hand, another perspective, another possibility, there were some people from within the military, intelligence, local civilian law enforcement who were aware of this, who could see this, who had the information, they either never reported or sympathized with Osama bin Laden. That is equally bad news. So this is a difficult moment, and we are not hearing any clear statement from the government of Pakistan. I don't know whether this is a reflection of any disconnect between the civilian and the military leadership, or is it that they're really looking at all the details. This is the time Pakistan needs to take a very categorical stand or very clear position. If they're involved in this killing, they should be proud of it. They should take a stand because Osama bin Laden and Al Qaeda and such militant terrorist groups are not going to be sympathetic or thankful to Pakistan if they are not taking a position openly. And Pakistan, in fact, has collaborated and cooperated in FATA against many of the other. They were Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind who was arrested. Pakistani cooperation and collaboration was strong. There was Abu Zubaydah, another Al-Qaeda leader, where cooperation was strong. So in this case also, if there was cooperation, and I earnestly hope that this was in fact a joint operation, they should have taken responsibility for this and taking, irrespective of what public opinion in a certain area might be, they should have acknowledged it. The fact that it has not happened is in fact quite troubling for me.